Hello to all the Hexicans out there. I'm really excited for this stream today because we're going to talk about this existing crypto market right now. We don't know what is going up. Is it going up? Is it going down? We have no idea. But we had a lot of Richard Hart streams. We're going to talk about that. And then also we have a special guest today. We're going to interview Stake Wealth, and it is his birthday today also. So let us wish him happy birthday. So please bring him on, Patrick.
Yes, so
hey
hello, Stake 12.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good, guys. Glad to be.
First of all, happy birthday. So should we start singing at first, or
no singing, no singing.
That's good. Maybe the stream would be worse after
that. No, I'm so glad
to be here. Enjoying your happy birthday pump right now. The
are
crypto
we?
market is in our favor, and we're going to talk about that.
Nice. Very cool.
Are you excited about what is happening right now, Stake Wealth?
Yeah, I'm dying for the sacrifice announcement. So I have a liquid bag and ready.
Yeah, it feels like HEX is totally decorrelated right now from crypto market. Everybody is like, should we be bearish? Should we be bullish right now? But HEX is just in its own game with the pulse chain coming up, right? But maybe we start from the beginning. We usually ask our guests like 3 normal questions. Like, when did you get into the crypto market to begin with? When did you start?
Great. I got in 2017, which like spring of 2017. I talked about it in one of my recent videos, the video about HEX is the best investment for millennials. And I brought up the fact that I got into crypto, into Bitcoin in early 2017. I bought some Ethereum, and if I had just held it until now, like I would be worth like a lot. So I related it to how in HEX, this is like the core mechanism. You know, you're protecting yourself from messing around. So I wish I had these principles that I have in HEX back then, so I wouldn't try to buy and sell and try to speculate.
So what is your when did you find out about HEX? Did you FOMO in day one like everybody else?
You know what? No, I didn't. I got into HEX on day 400. So I got in. Oh, actually, my first stake was day 400. But I remember I was watching. I was on YouTube on New Year's Eve, like December 31st, 2020, and Richard's stream came on during the day, and I didn't really have plans during the day, so I tuned in, and that was like after like I unsubscribed from him because like the year prior there was a lot of like FUD and stuff, and honestly I was like really too busy to kind of follow along with Richard last year. So I just came across his videos on New Year's, and seeing the track record of like him discussing HEX a year after made me look into it again. And then I spent a few weeks doing my due diligence and ended up making my first stake on day 400.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and you already talked about the function in HEX that you cannot mess it up. If you're logged in, you're logged in. This is my favorite feature in HEX. And what is your favorite feature in HEX? What is your best part of the game theory? What do you think?
There's a lot of little things. I personally like the fact that HEX is on a decentralized network, and there's this liquidity, game theory, where there's only so much liquidity, and if you start buying it up, the price is going to go against you. So coming from 2017, I got caught in a big exchange scam here in Canada called quadrigacx.com. That was like the big besides Mt. Gox, this Quadriga CX was the big like scam, like exit scam for an exchange. So looking back, like it was the Wild West back then. And when I was talking about exchanges and crypto with my friends back then, we wanted something like Uniswap, the Uniswap that we have now. So I think that's something I really appreciate, about HEX and Uniswap and actually holding your own keys versus, the crypto of 2017 where you had to, where there were these shady exchanges and everything was on the exchange like Bitfinex or Quadriga.
Yeah, that's an awesome point to bring up because with or since HEX, you really be able to be your own bank because you have the product HEX where you can get the interest, the trustless interest, where you don't have to put your money to anybody else. And with Uniswap, you have the possibility to go into stable coins on chain or into other stuff like on chain without the need of any centralized exchange as well. So you only need the centralized exchanges when you want to go back into like fiat US dollars. If you just want to like get some stability into your crypto portfolio, you can also work with stable coins.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's a blessing, and I'm so glad that hopefully moving forward, we're going to be heading into the decentralized like exchange space more, and Uniswap will be more popular. That's the only thing I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that Pulse Web will be more popular in a few years than Uniswap.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't we jump right into the topic, which is the bear market upon us? And Patrick, you always like to look at the market. What do you say? What is your opinion on that?
Then I start. I would say we are in a bear market because, I mean, my opinion is mostly based on the things Richard said in the last days. But I highly agree with him because I was there in the last bear market as well, and he is totally right because he was right when he said there are a lot of top indicators with this NFT madness and a lot of rug pulls, a lot of bad projects which pumped out, with Binance listing every shit they can, and we really did no more dips in the last few months. So here at the Crypto Sparbuch, our German community, I guess the English one as well, already knew because a few weeks ago at prices of 3,300, 3,600 of ETH, I told maybe you want to reduce your positions in Ethereum, and with HEX price at 2 cents, I told them, yeah, if you want to sacrifice something in a few weeks, then go into HEX because that has the most potential. So I guess our community is still doing pretty well, even after all this dipping on the main market.
Yeah. For someone who's a late comer to HEX and coming in post big payday, the pulse is just a great blessing. The fact that you have another opportunity to make a crazy multiple. Yeah. So I'm very thankful. So my answer as to like whether I believe we've turned bear or still bull, similar to you, Patrick. I think there's still more kind of runway to go up. So when Richard put out that call during the Coinbase listing that was going to be the top, I agreed with him. Because I remembered when in 2018 or whenever, when Bitcoin was on the CME, right? That was a big turning point. So I knew that was going to be also a good topping indicator and a good chance that it would kind of start to go down after. But nonetheless, I do feel like it's a bit of a bear trap, and the market makers have more tricks under their sleeve to shake out all the weak hands, teach them a lesson, and then go back to the regular program.
I mean, I agree on that if we talk about the Corona dip, 1 year or 14 months ago. But right now, I disagree on that because I really think that people don't have more money. Because what happened last year, everybody on Earth was like at home, forced by the government, like over 90%, I would say. And so everybody who had money to invest and who wanted to invest is already invested in the crypto market, is my theory. And I don't see it that way that now it's just a dip that huge institutions will go ahead and buy it up. I don't think so, and I don't see it that way. But still, I expect a few bullish weeks right now. I expect a nice run up right now, as Richard told us yesterday as well, like until 3,600 when it comes to the ETH price. But I don't expect new all-time highs. So you can go long right now if you want to. Don't leverage trade because it will wreck you. But in general, I won't go long term in the main cryptos right now. You know, like when I say, okay, let's put money for years into crypto, I won't recommend doing that into Bitcoin or Ethereum. I would recommend doing that into Hex, because here we have a different kind of market. Yeah, the one thing is it's a new market, it's a small market still. It don't need that much more inflows to grow. And Hex is made for the bear market because its liquidity is mainly based only with US dollars. So only when Hexicans sell, only they can sell the price down, because there is no bondage to Bitcoin and only a small one to Ethereum. And as all the Hexican stakers are still earning this insane APY per year, they don't care so much, you know, if their asset is going down a bit or not. And if you look at the charts, there is so from now, I guess there is only a 10-day or 14-day window where people needed to put more dollars to get the same amount of Hex as they have right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was going to say, really good point about mentioning how Hex is primarily traded against the US dollar. If I could bring up like my secondary favorite aspect of Hex is it's actually coupled more to the US dollar versus Ethereum or Bitcoin. And I think that factor alone doesn't get as much recognition when you're comparing Hex to other DeFi. Other DeFi are strongly correlated to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think it's a great feature that hopefully in the future, all the liquidity will just be on USD, and we will be completely agnostic of the market.
I don't think so, because it's a free market and there are people having their Hex and their ETH back, and they just want to give the market a pool, So it's not a decision of the Hexican community. It's just a free market decision. And if there is no pool, somebody will go ahead and make like a $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 pool in total, something like that. Like one ETH and a few thousand Hex.
What I love about Hex is that Hex never cared about what the crypto market did. I remember back then in December 2019 when Hex started, the Corona world was just going crazy, and Hex made lost a little bit, right? We had this dump at the beginning, but from there on, it's just thousands of Hex we are doing. But let us talk about the bear market that is upon us right now. How will Hex perform in this next few months? Patrick, what do you think? Why is Hex stronger than everybody else staying right now?
I mean, Hex is what we already said, because of the liquidity based in US dollars, and because there is nearly or only a few Hexicans in the minus, sitting in the minus right now, because as I already explained, we only had only a couple of days where Hex was more expensive than today, and only in the most recent pump. And that's why most of the Hexican family is still like pretty chilled. They are staked. They are waiting for the upcoming Pulse fork. They are. There is nearly no sell pressure. So the only people selling right now are maybe early people from last year, maybe free claimers, something like that, or people who don't care about Hex at all, only got into it last year and just want to get out again. And besides that, there is a really reduced sell pressure right now. And what I see in the chart, we had this 5x run up. We had our usual dip only with 50%, which is like less than the usual ones. But I guess it's because of more and more presence of Richard and the upcoming fork. And things are looking good. So I think in 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks we will start the sacrifice phase. So in about 1 or 2 months from now, we will have the Pulse network and a new exchange, a new blockchain, and I'm really excited for that. And I expect the hex price to go to new all-time highs as well, because every time when Richard is on stream and saying I can't wait till hex makes new all-time highs, it usually didn't took so long for the hex price to get us there.
Yeah.
And also Richard Hart said on his stream again and again, crypto can go higher than we can ever imagine. But I want to talk about something else, which I put into the thumbnail, which is how will Hex perform in the bear market? Because the most valuable thing is the T-share, right? We never stopped talking about the T-share somehow. And Staked Wealth, I want to talk to you about that, because your channel, this is what you're doing, you're doing education on Hex, right? And you have your staking ladder, everything is set up. How are you earning with Hex?
Well, I mean, I'm doing pretty good with the T-shirts that I have, but I feel like the people that are coming, after us, perhaps even after Pulse, they should expect to just get their B shares. So yeah, T-shirts are extremely valuable. I'm even considering, I have some stakes next year, and I'm considering early emergency end staking and push them out even further ahead of Pulse. So yeah, T-shirts, agree, totally super valuable, and people in the future are going to be lucky to even get a single T-shirt.
Yeah, it's crazy how we got them really, really cheap earlier. But what you mentioned is the people that are getting in right now, that they cannot accumulate so many T-shirts right now. But the only thing that they need is to stake it out longer and wait a little bit. And Patrick, can you maybe explain why is it so that the T-shirts only get more valuable? And how is the network effect in 15 years? Why is the payout so big in the future?
Sure. So the T-share mechanism in Hex is a mechanism which shows compound interest, or which displays compound interest. And to do so is for everyone restaking, or for everyone getting coming new to the system. I don't know how I should start to Stake Wealth. Can you help me a bit?
Deep, right?
How I should start this explanation to don't get stuck with it, that somebody who is new to the channel also can follow along.
No, it's hard to explain. I personally the whole point of my website is to pitch Hex to newbies, and I don't even go into T-shares, but I do link to articles. So typically during onboarding, I have a few articles that I link people to thoroughly explain T-shares so they can comprehend it, see the value, and then FOMO just based off the T-shares. So.
But I tried again. So you have T-shares, and the more T-shares you have, the more of passive income you can earn from the daily pie. And T-shares you get when you stake your Hex. And in the end, there is a total pool of all the T-shirts in the system. And in the end of the day, you have 2 pools. You have this pool of total T-shares, and then the Hex code automatically calculates a pool of total daily Hex payout. All the Hex stakers can only get their interest after their stake is with 100% progress. So not every day, but still every day HEX is getting to the staker class, which they can access when their stake is due. And now let's go to this total pool of T-share. To get those T-shares, it will always be more expensive and more expensive in the future to get them, because is like how HEX mirrors compound interest. So for future people, they will need more HEX to get the same amount of T-shares. And therefore, this whole pool will shrink in the long term. Mm-hmm. And as you have a shrinking pool, but still the daily payout, which is over the long term increasing, you get more and more from the daily pie if you stake longer than everybody, because then you get to experience the pool shrinking, and you are still with those T-shares bought from years before. So your T-shares get more and more are getting more and more value over the long run.
Yeah, that's good.
So what Patrick is explaining here is a video we made a couple of like a year ago, so explaining the power of T-shirts. It's on our Crypto Sparbook YouTube channel. I can really tell everybody to check it out. It's a great video, and it really explains how valuable those T-shirts are in the future. So what else do we have?
I can sum it up as well. So if you make a maxed out stake, you could expect like at least a 20x return in HEX.
Yeah, and if you guys know, I think I sent you the video you're referencing, Alan. That's the video. That was one of my that's my third video on my YouTube channel where I referenced your guys' video that you did for the conference, for the HEX virtual conference. Yeah. So I watched the video, and then I ran out the door and did a bank wire to do 15-year stakes. We're talking about value after 10 years.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Yeah, talk about that video.
And so I guess you understood it well. So after watching the video, like which value those 5 more years are having, even if you don't have more bonus T-shares.
Yeah, exactly. So if anyone comes across it, recommend you watch it, and recommend just giving a shout out to the whole HEX conference you guys did in January. Like Maddie produced it so well. Great group of guests, great presentations. Again, even on my website, I reference the presentations on a few of the days that I found particularly interesting. Like Silver the Antidote's presentation was about 45 minutes. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about let's talk a little bit more about the bear market before we talk about what you are doing on YouTube Stake Wealth. Sure. So we had a lot of streams from Richard Hart, and he was talking about the bear market, obviously. But what does he mean with bounces are legal? Patrick, can you educate us on that?
Sure. So if you look at the charts from the last bear market starting in December 2017, you see that it's not only going down, and bear market doesn't mean that it's only going down. So it just means that we don't reach new all-time highs, but it's still going down in steps. So we get a huge dip, and we get a rebound, and we get another dip, we get a rebound, and it really looks like that, like currently and as of right now, more or less, because in the last 2 days or in the last 36 hours, crypto got to its lowest point in in nearly every cryptocurrency. And from there, we saw bounces back up to 100% already, or even higher.
Yeah. I want to go back to an earlier question I didn't get a chance to answer about how HEX will do in a bear market. I thought I would make the point, going back to the liquidity, because still like the Uniswap V2 is predominantly in USDC, and because we're still kind of like gate kept, I think it's going to be immune to a lot of the dumps that are going to be occurring across other cryptos. So the gatekeeping could be described as a blessing in disguise, because we might not attract a lot of those newbies that would be on BNB chain, for example, that would act irrationally and dump the price and stuff like that. So I think the gatekeeping has developed a very tight-knit community of people that get it, that are staked, and are indifferent for the most part with the natural price fluctuations.
I totally agree. So Hex doesn't has like this selling network effect because people are staked, and with a lot of other cryptocurrencies, if there is like a FUD in the community, they are getting like this selling network effect, because everybody has his coins just liquid, and just sees the price go down, sees the value go down. Nobody sees any form of interest per day. So they are more incentivized to sell it down like everybody else, like just be the nice sheep.
Yeah. In the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
On the way to the slaughterhouse.
But Hex has been gatekept from day one, right? We have CoinMarketCap. They do not show our current rank. We are on position 8 right now. Nomics shows it quite well. And what do you guys think? When will this gatekeeping stop? Will Pulse maybe bring a change to that?
I hope so. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Pulse Trend will be the catalyst to list, the Pulse chain, perhaps the Pulse chain versions of those ERC20s, and Hex will by that time have the market cap and to be like 3, 4, 5 and not be gatekept anymore.
I also think so that on a certain point they won't have any chance to continue the gatekeeping.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. That'll be very
exactly.
A lot of explaining. But,
like how CoinMarketCap, how does it come that suddenly this Hex is like on number 3 of your list?
They're gonna say like, we didn't calculate the market cap correctly, or so, or like they're gonna blame it on whatever their calculations are.
Like Richard Hart never gave us the right numbers to work with or something.
Yeah, we don't have the API to calculate stakes. I don't know, whatever they're gonna make it.
We aren't able to communicate with Etherscan because Etherscan is such an unknown site.
Yeah, my regarding the gatekeeping, my favorite conspiracy. I think there's not many conspiracies in Hex, but my favorite conspiracy is I read on Twitter that the reason why it's being gatekept is because there's other DeFis that are using the staking to generate superior APY. So they're getting money, staking it, and then doing their own Ponzi schemes using Hex. That's one theory.
So scams are already staking Hex that they have APY. More money inflow to pay their scam and to pop.
I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, but there could be some.
I like it.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would love that, but I like the conspiracy theory.
It's dangerous, but people are taking their 6%, their 3%. They're happy to take that. So okay.
Where would be a level when a rebound could occur, Patrick? Could we talk about that? Did Richard Hart give us a level?
Yeah, Richard Hart talked about 55,000 Bitcoin, 3,600 Ethereum, and can't wait to see new all-time highs in Hex. Like this is like the summary of the numbers he told us in the last streams. And looking at Ethereum, it looks pretty strong. It went up to 3,650 already, over 25% on the daily candle. It looks strong, and I really think that we get another round of FOMO in the crypto market, because still a lot of people are like sitting on the sidelines and like just watching it, and I guess crypto is able to generate a little more FOMO, but yeah, as I said, I expect retraces, but no new all-time highs. But guys, if we see new all-time highs, I'm not like upset. I'm just smiling as well. Yeah. But when I go with the mindset, we are in the bear market, we won't see new all-time highs. I can't be upset anymore,
Mm-hmm.
Because when I go with the mindset, in July I will see like $5,000 Ethereum, and then I don't see it, I might don't like it, So I will rather just be surprised from the market than overwhelmed, or how do you call it?
So let's talk about the sacrifice phase. Obviously, I want to see high prices when the sacrifice phase begins because I want to sacrifice a lot of hex. Stake Wealth, what do you think how the sacrifice phase will unfold? How do you gonna play it, and what do you think about the sacrifice overall? The biggest airdrop in crypto history, right?
Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of marketing videos to get that message out and engage with different communities. I have a feeling the Hex whales have something under their sleeves, as in, I think they're gonna make sure to pump the price before they sacrifice. So even though there's this like tiered like gold, silver, and bronze, timeline, I have a feeling that maybe even like in the later stages, it may even be more like rewarding to stake if it means whales are pumping the price higher. So my strategy is honestly very simple, just dollar cost average. You can't lose. But I think there's going to be some interesting volatility, and just dollar cost, and you'll be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't know like the how the sacrifice phase will unfold like 100%, and if there is a volume curve as well, like that every $1 million sacrifice reduces the multiplier of volume, then I would say all in as early as possible. If we get this volume multiplier, like just like a bigger pays better, that if I go in with 1,000, I get a little volume multiplier, and if I go in with 1 million, I get a higher multiplier. That I say, okay, bigger amounts are equal to a higher risk, so they should get rewarded better, and then you can do dollar cost average, because then you don't have like this huge volume loss after day one, and that's basically it. I mean, Richard yesterday announced that that technically, so like how the validators interact with each other and how everything works on a from the tech perspective, which has nothing to do with the game theory of the sacrifice phase, of the pulse launch phase. So he said, this is going awesome, this is going so well, so we may even short the sacrifice phase. So maybe we don't even have like 33 days or 30 days as we spoke about. Maybe we will only have like 14 days of sacrifice phase. So let's see how it will unfold. Still, there is nothing 100% decided yet. Richard is still more focused on the technical side and less focused on the game theory of the sacrifice phase, because once he knows like, okay, technically everything is fine, then he will put his focus on the game theory of the launch phase. And I guess a genius like him won't take a long time after getting so much input, so much ideas from a lot of community members to create a system which might be the fairest for everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Stake, so you're producing your videos for Hex, right? What are you doing, like vlogs and educational videos?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Alan. So I when I got into Hex and I staked, once I made my ladder, I realized, well, what do I do now? So and then I looked around. Well,
just wait 15 years.
Yeah, just wait. And I looked around, and people like Coffee and Motley and Maddie, Kareem. All you can really do is just like do your part to spread the word. It's like a win-win if you onboard people, because there's no like, they're not trying to buy your bags. We're all here to win. So I went on my journey to, start onboarding, and I onboarded whoever I could, in my proximity. But I realized the most, effective way to do my part is to scale the onboarding, right? So I do things like I print stickers, and I just physically put stickers wherever I go, and I mention HEX. It says HEX, the first high interest blockchain time deposit. Be your own bank, earn 40% APY. I watch the analytics on these scans, and I've spread about 250 of these around,
Awesome.
or maybe about 200, and I get like 15 to 25 scans per week. So they kind of they pay dividends. People kind of check it out. I think the next design I'm going to do is more kind of clickbait to Bitcoin. So maybe I'll have like a logo of like Bitcoin, and then it'll say something like, the like yield generating Bitcoin or something. Just a little bit something more like, dumber, just for people who know what a Bitcoin is. And so I'm spreading stickers to just get some awareness in the physical world. And then I'm recording vlogs. I have bought a GoPro, drone footage. Now, in the beginning, like since I had 0 subscribers, I figured I would get a little bit of engagement, like a little bit of like an algorithm boost by posting Hex related videos. But ultimately, like there's really no gain, staying in our echo chamber. So I don't have plans to keep making videos specifically about Hex. This first phase, I put out like, I don't know, 10 videos, is just getting, subscribers, getting some comments, getting some engagement, some positive feedback. But now the second phase is going to be making videos, finance videos, not related to Hex, to get no coiners in. So, so my plan is to start kind of reaching for communities outside of Hex, because we need to get new people in.
That's awesome, man. Cool.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Actually, this QR code stuff, it's going really good. When it gets scanned regularly, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it helps out. Like I said, I was trying to spread my website, Staked Wealth. The whole point of the website is, when I got into Hex, it took me like 4 to 5 weeks to do my due diligence. Like I told Patrick before, I was following Richard in 2017 and 2018, but when he started talking about Hex, it never clicked for me. Like it went over my head, and to the point where he would keep putting out videos in 2020 about Hex, and I just had enough, and I actually unsubscribed. So it took a lot for me to understand it, and then when I revisited it, it also took me a while to do my due diligence. So when I was doing it, I wished I had someone to just, one-on-one ask questions, ask stupid questions with. And that's the point of my website. I made a very kind of newbie, surface level website describing Hex and, my explanation of Hex. But there's links to the official website. There's links to the blogs. There's widgets. So it's like a little, welcome page. I made it when Richard had that old website that wasn't very well designed. So I thought it was a step up, and it's there to just kind of let people dabble with Hex, like clicking on different links I have, and also be able to book a one-on-one session with me. I had just 2 people book a session with me so far. And the one time they just called in and we just had a quick conversation. The second time too, somebody joined on webcam and we just had a quick conversation. There were both people that had heard about Bitcoin before. So the hardest part I found explaining Hex is just the decentralized aspect of it. Like, no, you don't go on Binance chain. Like, no, you don't, you don't do those other things. Like, you hold your keys, you go on MetaMask and you go on Uniswap and you buy it, you hold it. And then people also, it was hard for them to comprehend that you don't have to stake. Like, if you don't want to, you can just hold the keys. And then if you want to, you can stake. So yeah, like I said, I'm spending my free time, after work on weekends, producing content, tweeting, and just getting the word out to no coiners, because it seems like the easiest people to onboard are no coiners who, when they see 40% APY, are not calling it a scam.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
And,
the
and,
ones.
and if you compare it like to the real banking system, they get it pretty fast. If you say, with the euro, and if you want to save your money, you can go to your bank, and then you can put your money into an account where you don't get any interest. But if you tell them, I will lock my money for a certain amount of time, they give you interest. And if you say you will lock it longer, they give you more interest. And if you don't hold your word, they penalize you as well. So they already get this kind of system.
Yeah.
And then you just say, okay, and now this system is also working on the blockchain, and way more awesome, because you have all these price appreciation possibilities. But you also have, compared to the traditional banking system, not like 0 point something up to 1% of interest. So you have at least 12% per year, and up to over 40% for long-term staking.
Yeah.
I want to come back to the pull chain. So StakeWealth, you are in the Hex community, you are doing all the research, looking, watching a lot of videos, I'm guessing. What is your feeling? Like, everybody is talking about pull chain, and how back in the day when they found Hex, they invested just a little, and now like we have those millionaires in Hex. What do you think, how much they will invest, how will be the general time when the sacrifice phase begins? Everybody is going crazy, or do they gonna dollar cost average? What do you think about that?
That's a great question. I think from my perspective of an outsider who's late, it seems like the OGs are staked just beyond this year. They probably didn't foresee, a need to have stakes come out, this year to be liquid. So I feel like whoever is buying into Pulse is buying in with fresh fiat, which is great, right? Because it just means there's even more money that's going to be buying Hex. I lost my train of thought. But I forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to you. But yeah.
Well, so the question was like, how much do you think will be sacrificed, and do you think there will be a huge FOMO wave on day one, or how do you think the sacrifice phase might unfold? Just pure speculation.
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask. I'm trying to get away from speculating and buying and selling and trading, just dollar cost average. I mean, on the topic of Pulse Chain, look, when I got in and I was in the Telegram group, people were saying the acronym DCA, and I think it was Motley who first, like, when I started asking questions like, how do I buy, and he was like, just dollar cost, like DCA, and then I had to DM him like, what is DCA? And so I've dollar cost averaged into Hex, and if you guys know the website, it's fees.wtf. If you go on the website and you connect your MetaMask, it'll compile all the Ethereum gas fees that you've paid. So for example, like I've like dollar cost averaged like 50 to 60 transactions with Hex, right? I paid a lot in gas fees. For me, I paid like over 1.1 Ethereum in gas fees just this past year, right? So like, I know you, like OGs, they were paying like a penny and it wasn't a big deal, but for people that are getting it now and are looking to dollar cost average, that gas fee is astronomical, right?
Yeah.
So, for the Pulse, I really like how Richard stresses the fact that you shouldn't be expecting like a return per se. You should be making a political statement. And I'm the product of someone who's trying to make a political statement that, hey, I'm tired of paying these gas fees. Like I'm sacrificing my, on the Ethereum blockchain to create a better universe for newcomers.
Yeah, but me too. And actually, I also feel feel scammed by fees since over a year. Yeah, because I am in the onboarding world since the start of HEX, and as you said, the OGs had like an empty blockchain. All my stakes, what I did in the beginning were like with one way, and you put it on fast because who cares if you pay like 2 pennies more, just to get it through in the next 10 seconds. And I mean, the good thing is that the fees are fluctuating a lot. So you don't have to go with the highest fees. And when it comes to HEX, you can also wait a bit until you have a better fee structure, because you don't need to end stake on the day. You have a bit more time. You don't need to stake on the day and with the fastest transaction speed and so on. And like looking at it right now would be also a really good point to get in. Like 15 minutes before, it was even a bit better, but you still get around like 50 gwei. And what I did in the last few days, for example, I had some stakes bleeding out since the big payday, because those were just like some test stakes, like with just 1,000, 2,000 hex, something like that. But still, with the last run up, they got worse a bit more. So they 5x'd as well. So it was worth end staking them right now. So after the fees went crazy in the drop, and then now like 2 or 3 days before, I got it through with 30 gwei. So maybe you also have something to do on the blockchain. Just keep an eye on it, and you can save on fees as well if you want to.
All right, Patrick, so we have about 15 minutes left, and I wanted to ask you, should we do a price analysis as well? Should we look at Ethereum and the HEX price on a chart? Have you something prepared for us, or should we just talk about post?
Like you want to, we can do that.
Let's do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do that at the end. I have some more questions, and then at the end we would do the price analysis. Stake Wealth, did you have something?
I'd love to talk about the idea about travel,
Yeah, we can
sure.
talk about travel as well. But first, what I wanted to say with the last point I made is that I invested too little in HEX. Now with Pulse, I have a little bit more money to invest, and I will for sure go crazy. But will I put everything into the sacrifice when it just starts? I think I will also, like you said, dollar cost average afterwards. But Patrick, maybe we can talk about how to find liquidity, and maybe on why is it important to vote with your money. What does that mean, and what are you planning to do, Patrick? And then, of course, Stake Wealth as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, how to find liquidity? I like today in the project, I heard somebody saying, I looked in my apartment and got some old things. I put it on eBay and so on, and on the second market, and I got some couple of hundreds here and some couple of hundreds there, and it will all go to ETH right now, and then to sacrifice into Pulse, or even better into HEX right now, and then sacrifice into Pulse, because you may have better opportunities there that the HEX price is increasing even more. And the second question was like the political decision. So after the fork, you get your HEX mirrored. So you will have HEX on the ETH chain and on the Pulse chain. And after the fork, everybody can decide which blockchain he or she wants to use in the future.
Yeah, and Stake Wealth, which chain will you use in the future for your stakes? The Pulse chain or the Ethereum chain? Or are you going to do both?
It'll depend on the bridge that would come with the Pulse side. I honestly don't have an answer. I thought about that too, and I don't know how the strategy would change when you have both, and when you have liquidity in on the parallel blockchains. I don't know yet, but like I said, it'll have to depend on what kind of bridges there are, and what that experience is like.
So
I guess it will be pretty easy to just switch the network in your MetaMask, and then you can bridge over like wrapped Ethereum pretty easy and buy pools and hex on the pools chain, and you will just have like a go.hex.com as well, just with the switch in your MetaMask, and it will also work with hardware wallet integration and so on.
Okay.
What I wanted to say is when the sacrifice phase begins, I will sacrifice, and this will be my first political statement that I want to be on the Pulse chain. But when the sacrifice phase is done and we have our stakes on the Ethereum chain and also on the Pulse chain, this is when I gonna use the Ethereum chain to the fullest, I gonna say. And I take all my liquidity from this side, and let's see where I can utilize it better. I think I can utilize it better on the Pulse chain because, like you said, Wealth, you're gonna onboard people on the Pulse chain, right? And this is why I see so much more potential on the Pulse chain for Hex in the future. So this is where I really gonna concentrate on, and I think a lot of Hexicans gonna do the same in the future. All right, so should we talk a little bit more about traveling? You brought it up. Patrick and I, obviously, we are traveling, and like a couple of weeks ago, we made a request to everybody who wants to travel with us, and Stake Wealth actually was one of the first to contact us about that. You want to travel as well in the future, right? What are you gonna do? What is your plan?
Yeah, like I said, here's how it started. I started looking at the Hex appreciation, and I'm like, wow, like this is something that like I could fulfill my dreams of living in paradise, for example. And I started looking up apartments in like Costa Rica, South America, different places. And then I realized, well, it's kind of lonely, to try to make new friends there or whatnot. So wouldn't it be great to like travel with like-minded people? And like I told you guys earlier, my girlfriend can't stand me talking about Hex 24/7, so that wouldn't work. So I think the best case is traveling with other Hexicans who can tolerate you talking about Hex 24/7.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we do with Patrick. We talk 24 hours about Hex, about Pulse, about our streams.
Yeah, I mean, because
in the Hex universe.
I'm here in Mexico since 3 weeks. Yeah, it's like exactly like 3 weeks ago I arrived. Like tomorrow, 3 weeks ago passed. And when I arrived, it was like on the day we broke out of the 2 cents. And those last 3 weeks were like the after the top of Bitcoin, before the top of Ethereum, before the 5x of 5 new X of Hex, before the huge dip right now. So it's like really pretty much on a daily basis that we just talk about the crypto market, because in the last weeks there is like so much going on the crypto markets.
Yeah. So
I love to ask Patrick this question as well, and everybody else. How high has Hex to go until you start traveling with us to be a full-time traveler, a Hex traveler?
I have the same number in my head, like for the past 150 days. For me, it's 11 cents. 11 cents, and we'll travel the world.
So my guess is then for 11 cents, we will probably see you in a couple of weeks in Vegas then, right? Because I'm pretty sure we will see those 11 cents in Vegas.
Yeah.
So are you coming to Vegas or what?
Yeah, I have a ticket.
Sure,
I'm coming.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know. So we definitely have to connect.
I hope we see 11 cents before Vegas. Would be nice. Yeah. And possible. So possible as well.
Yeah, easy.
And then, of course, the chat is saying it's going to lead to $7 after that. So we will see my $7. I'm pretty sure Hex can go higher than we can ever imagine. And one day we will see the $7, and then I have some ass whipping to do. All you guys never believed in my $7. You all feel sorry then. Okay, Patrick, so let us see your charts. I'm really excited for the charts to see how the crypto market is going and also how HEX is going.
Yeah. I have more time, guys. I'll stick around. I don't have too much to add on the TA, but I'd love to hear Patrick's perspective.
Me neither. I'm just watching Patrick doing his show at this moment, and maybe I find a question or two. So Patrick, you go ahead. I have
should we bring it on?
turn off my camera really quick.
Good, it's already there. Perfect. So let's start with Bitcoin. I mean, if you want to, I can show you the same thing what Richard showed us yesterday. So what he said is, let's have a look like how fast Bitcoin was falling. So in total, it did those 53.7% minus in only 35 days. And if we have a look like how much gains Bitcoin gave up, so here on the down, it was first time here. So really on that lowest point, it was like 107 days of gains. But right now we are, first time was here and here as well. And now we're only like with 108 days of giving up gains. So what you also see is like this yellow line. This comes from the Corona downturn of last year. And we made the wicks here, the wick here, and are going to have a retrace, what you can see here right now. And let's see like how far this guy will bring us. Maybe we can go, because Richard said like 55 would be like a 80% retrace. And yeah, let's see like in how much days this will unfold, or if it will unfold or not. And let's do the same thing for Ethereum and then for HEX. So here we have the daily chart of Ethereum. So Ethereum on the low gave up, like here, yeah. This was the day of the first time, gave up 107 days of gains on the low. And right now you see this good retrace here. We are only we're already back up where Ethereum was the first time just a month ago, I guess. Yeah, just 32 days ago. And it looks even more bullish than Bitcoin, like always. Already did like 55%. And Richard told us until 3,600, he said, which would be more or less here. Which would be over 100% of gain from the local low. I think that people will sell the 100% from the local low. So I don't agree with the 3.6 of Richard. I would say if we go at this, we might rebound to 3,300 or even only 300, something like that. And let's do the same thing for HEX as well. We see this nice run up, just like from the past. Here you see like a wick, but it's just in the day chart. I don't know what TradingView has here. On the 4 hours chart, it's easier to go. And here HEX, the first time at this current price was on the 10th of May. So we only gave up about 15 days of gains. Looks good. And our dip here on the centralized platform, which is HitBTC, is 53%. If we have a look at the most liquid exchange, which is still Uniswap Forward version 2, where in total we have about $8 million in the liquidity pool, because you just need to double the USDC side. This because it's equal pools, so you have like 8 million. And if we have a look here, this was the all-time high. We did just the 50% dip, which is less than Bitcoin did, which is less than Ethereum did, and which is also way less what Matic, for example, did. So I will show you some other thing, because a few months ago we talked about the layer 2 network possibility of Ethereum called Matic, and they did also like they did a run up which was kind of the same like Hex, but just like kind of the same. If I measure that, it's 270%, and if I measure Hex, it would be like nearly 400%, and this coin went down 72%. I mean, it's a nice rebound here as well, which over 150%, but here you see the network effect of selling, what I wanted to explain before. Because like if everybody just holds their coin liquid, they are incentivized to sell the shit out of it, when crypto markets are crashing. And that's why this coin did a 72 minus, and did also do a higher retrace. But this is even much more hell of a ride than if you are like in Hex, where you only had to experience this 50% dip, which is between 50 and 70. You might think it's not that much, but it is a lot actually. It is a lot.
So Bitcoin lost about 100 days of how do you call it? Bitcoin lost 100 days of profit. Ethereum lost 50 days of profit. And Hex only lost about 2 weeks of
15.
profit, right?
Exactly.
So it didn't went down as all the other cryptos did. So this actually puts us in a better position compared to all the other people in the crypto market. I totally love that. And this is what you just showed. Like Hex does not dump as hard as all the other cryptos. And the last example you made with the network effect, I think is just the perfect example for Hex, because people in Hex are staked. I cannot sell. I am safe from myself, because if I could, I would 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, right now, if you look at the numbers, you might see an increase in liquid Hex, but that's only because of the upcoming Pulse chain fork, where people are getting more into liquid Hex because that's their amount they want to sacrifice in the next few weeks. And I guess that that we see like way more staking after the Pulse fork, and after everything is like settled on the new network, when everybody has an easy customer experience to stake on the Pulse chain. Because they are just, even if you only have like 10,000 Hex on the Pulse chain, it will be already worth to stake it short term, for example. And if you only have a total of 10,000 or less than 10,000 Hex, it will be still worth to make like a birthday ladder, like 15 stakes, even if you have just little principles, because you won't pay those high fees as you need to do on the Ethereum blockchain, and then you can stretch out your risk on the whole timeline, and enjoy your gains.
So I have a last question for you guys. The chat is asking, what do you guys think about what Richard Hart said about sacrificing? Patrick, do you like 2/3 Pulse, 1/3 in Hex? How are you gonna play it?
I will play it differently, because I like finished products. I need to say that first of all. So I really love Hex. And that's what the main reason why I got into Hex, and why I got a bit heavier into Hex. And that's why I personally won't put like 2/3 of my liquid Hex for Pulse, and only keep 1/3. I will, at maximum, I will put like 1/3 of my liquid Hex. But just to put it in relative, or like in reality, it will be still more money in US dollar terms than I invested into Hex. So I'm still going into Pulse like more than into Hex, but I won't use 2/3 of my liquid Hex.
How about you, Staked Wealth?
Yeah, for anyone getting in, like I got in late, Pulse is a tremendous opportunity. So I think people are kind of kicking themselves for, whoever heard about Hex before, not, getting in early enough. So I think people will like ape into Pulse, people that are late to Hex. I got into Hex, I staked out a ladder and didn't plan to put any more money into crypto. And then since Pulse was announced, just from paychecks and just whatever kind of bit of liquidity I have, I plan to put 100% of it in Pulse in order to buy on the ground floor, and perhaps it's like buying on day one of Hex. I think the return for someone getting in now could actually be more attractive in Pulse than it is Hex over the next year.
Yeah, that could be true. It's just in my case, I already have the history of Hex. I already have the track record of Hex. I already know the 100% uptime of Hex. I already know the insane APY Hex is paying me. So I like to keep that. And even if Pulse is outperforming Hex in the future, I don't care, because I still will have my bag of Pulse, and I will still have my bag of Hex, and as I will still make this insane APY, I'm just smiling, when both are going up in value and price. And I won't be crying in the night because Pulse is outperforming Hex, so I will just sit there and say, hey, nice, Pulse is outperforming Hex.
Yeah. And look, there could be a good chance when you consider that there's no inflation on Pulse, right? Whatever is sacrificed, whatever the circulation is like during the sacrifice phase is, as I understand it, the only, Pulse that will exist. There's no
that's true.
No inflation, so it's a big deal. It's inflationary.
There is kind of a bit of inflation in the beginning, because Pulse will have their its own DAO, DAO, like decentralized automated organization, and there will be some Pulse coins for liquidity mining on the Pulse decentralized exchange. So it won't be like new inflation, but it will be like Pulse, like new Pulse hitting the market through the liquidity mining thing.
Okay, which does that come from fees?
No, this is like coming from the DAO, from the decentralized automized organization, and I mean, I'm not sure like about the mechanism, like how they will determine like which pool gets which rewards and so on. But it will be something going on, especially in the beginning, because that's how you get people from the different communities to engage on your decentralized exchange as well. Like this is the way how the quick swap of Matic became popular as well.
But then somebody else is saying, Bluebum is saying, there is not, it won't necessarily be a DAO. It's all about testing things out right now. Richard Hart has
exactly
not decided on that.
We don't have it fixed right now. I'm just saying it that there won't be inflation in the coin, but there might be still new pools hitting the market in the future because of liquidity mining, for example. But in general, you won't get like interest on your pools. But what you can do with your pools is to stake them as well, but without all the game theory involved in Hex. Just stake them and unstake them whenever you want to. Not wherever, it's just on the Pulse chain, so whenever. And you can put your stake to a validator and earn a fraction of the fees as well. And then So that's the way how you can earn some pulls as well. And those new pulls would come out of fees out of the volume.
So a lot of interesting things to come. Thank you guys for the streams. Thank you, Stake Wealth. I hope you enjoyed your birthday pump and your birthday stream with us. It was a pleasure to have you. Thanks for everybody in the chat for being so active and typing all those messages. Consider leaving a like as well. And Patrick, do you have something else to say?
No, I hope you didn't got wrecked during the dip in the last days. I hope you watched the Hexicans streams. I hope you were prepared for that to come. And I hope everybody has a great week. We will do a little more content this week as well. We still have to do our tournament content today, this week as well, because we had some issues earlier today. And yeah, that's it. We are looking forward to see you on our next streams. If you haven't done so, please leave us a like. It will also pump your hex packs. And thanks to you, Staked Wells. Happy birthday again. Enjoy the rest of the day. And thanks for coming on. We see each other in Vegas. We will have a good drink, I guess. And so to everybody out there, have a great rest of the week, and yeah, goodbye.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, everybody. See you.